first of all, thank you, Stephen, for accepting this interview. Most probably, the people that are watching us do not really know a lot about you, so maybe you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, of course. My name is Steven. I'm from Miami, Florida. Been trading for a little bit over 2 years now. I've been with prop firms since early last year, and it's been a crazy adventure, but I've somehow mastered my own system in this, and I'm happy to be here and share my experience with you.
That's amazing. Wow, 2 years. That's pretty fast for a lot of payouts. Of course, people that are watching again, they don't really know about you, but I know for sure that you got around 30K from GFT already, and most probably even more from other platforms as well, right?
Yeah, so I've gotten I think 20 so far. I have another. I just requested another 10,000 from GFT yesterday, and then I've made about 300,000 in payouts so far. Yeah, I think I just crossed 300,000 with this last payout. But I mean, comes with a caveat. I've spent about $100,000 on challenges too. So, but it's a good risk reward situation.
Absolutely. I appreciate the honesty.
Of
I
course.
appreciate you mentioning the costs for these challenges. A lot of people tend to forget about mentioning it. But
Yeah.
however, 100K is amazing from prop firms.
I've made 300K from prop firms, but I've spent 100,000 on challenges.
Oh, so 200K, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, it's even better.
Yeah.
1 to 2, 1 to 2 risk reward. I'm pretty curious about your style of trading. Are you a day trader, a swing trader? What exactly is your style?
I'm a day trader. I close all positions. I'm not a swing trader. I tried doing that early on, and like I wouldn't sleep at night. I'd be up, I'd wake up in the middle of the night checking on trades and stuff, and then I'd usually get burned by Asia. I've also learned never to trade Asia anymore because they seem to be scammers in a lot of ways. Like Sydney will do something, then Asia will come in and completely reverse whatever Sydney was up to, and then it's always like, and then because of the time zone I'm in, it doesn't work out, so well. And like I try to have some sort of work-life balance, with my wife and everything. I just had a baby a couple months ago, so
Congrats for that.
thanks. Yeah. So no, I primarily just trade New York session. I wish I could trade London session because they seem to have a lot of action, but I can't wake up at 3 in the morning for that.
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, but primarily I do trade a little bit pre New York session, but I'm out of all positions by 9:30 a.m. because New York will come in and wreck the charts. And then I look for opportunities around 10 o'clock usually because they seem to like settle down by then. There's usually a rate involved in the mornings, either down or up or whatever, but they go for a liquidity grab from what I've experienced, and then the real move occurs later on in the day. But yeah, I primarily day trade.
All right. So when does your day stop when it comes to trading? When do you stop trading during the day? At around what hour?
So I wake up at like 6:30 probably every morning, but I like check the news. I check the charts. I see what's been going on. I get to the computer by 7:30, 8 o'clock every day. I try to see if there's like a little scalp opportunity before 9:30. So maybe like 8:30, there's usually a move somewhere. I primarily trade gold and Nasdaq. So I've actually just recently transitioned into Nasdaq because gold has been wrecking me. I thought I was a gold expert, but it did not work out that way. These last couple of months, it's been very chaotic. So yeah, I'll look for an opportunity around 8 to 8:30, and I'm out by 9:30 no matter what, because New York will usually reverse or do something crazy that doesn't. I've gotten burned more than not with New York openings, so I get out and then I'm back in by like around 10, 11 maybe, like depending on the situation. Like I look for a good setup, seeing where they're stalling out more than anything.
So you mentioned about trading in New York most of the times because of the time zone. However, it makes sense since you're trading gold and Nasdaq. However, would you mind sharing it a little bit on the screen, like maybe with MTJ, like a quick 5-10 minute?
Yeah,
Um,
sure. Can you see my trading?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my charts apparently blind people.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's very blinding. Hold on, let me go to that. So this is my actual like normal everyday view. Like I check. I have like these 6 charts up, which is like, and I transition one another, but it's mainly gold on 2 time frames. Obviously
Mhm.
DXY, Nasdaq, S&P, and then I this one I shift around between Euro, Bitcoin, and some other assets just to see what's happening in other markets.
Okay. That's different from what I've seen before.
Yeah. I know how to read it, so that's kind of all that matters. But everyone's like, bro, how do you see this? Like, it's crazy. Like, you can't even see it. No, I can see everything on here. So
Wow.
I primarily trade my own system, but it's like a mix of like between ICT and like SMC and like and this other guy, Trader's Reality. He really taught me a lot about trading in the beginning. He's really a good resource for beginners. But so basically, his concept is like these vector candles, and vector candles are like high volume candles that basically will get recovered no matter what at some point in time. I basically trade towards those recoveries depending on what like the momentum is showing. Like so, in this situation, like the problem with the all-time highs recently though is that there's no data. So where are you trading towards? Like I mean, it can't parabolically go up. It has to at some point recover. So that's the question. Like, when are they going to recover? So, like, gold made a nice recovery. I actually didn't catch this because I was still, since I got so burned on gold the last 2 months that I really like just switched around. But basically, for me, like the trade I took like yesterday was the break of this structure right here. Like, I thought that they were.
Yeah, maybe zoom in a little bit.
There we go. All right. So you see better now? Or,
Well, yeah, somehow.
I know, right? It's crazy. All right.
Yeah, I'm curious. What are all these indicators on top?
So one of them is a trader reality indicator. The other one's called. So that one shows me like these high volume, like these bright green candles and the bright red candles. Like those are liquidity candles. So like, you see how this was like at 8 a.m. right? They like shot up and with these high volume candles, right? All the way up here, they were liquidating everyone. They were grabbing like everyone who went short. They're trying to get their stops, right? So
Mm-hmm.
then, but they peaked out right about here, right? And they usually peak out at some whole number. Like, so they peaked out at 2180, and then, but you see how all of it got recovered, all of it, and then some, right? And then they like, I thought they were going to reverse from about here. It's like some sort of support level you would think, right? But on Fridays, you never know what's going to happen, right? So I actually took a short at the break of this, like around, I think around this candle right here, like 65, yeah, 65 to, and I got out literally like when I saw this happen, this little wick up, I got out. That was a reach. That was the reach for liquidity right there, because then I knew they were gonna reverse, and then I was like, I made 10K. I'm out. I'm done for the day. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so yeah, it's basically some ICT combined with SMC, like you mentioned. However, what are the purple, pink lines?
Oh, okay. So I trade with a lot of EMAs,
Okay.
especially like on like the 1 minute, because I primarily I use the 5 minute as like the general basis, and the 30 minute. But I really trade like I open trades and close them on the 1 minute, because on the 1 minute you can really see what is going on behind that 5 minute candle. So I trade with like maybe 5 or 6 EMAs. So the white line is the 5 EMA. The orange one is the 13. This is the 20. This is the cloud, and line in the middle is the 50. This is the 100, and that's the 200.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Like, it's just a way to gauge what's happening, especially on the 1 minute. Like, you can see if it's riding down the 5 EMA on the 1 minute, that's a good entry point in general. Or actually, on the 5 minutes, even a better entry point if you could get in. Like, because you see here on like here, it's riding down this white 5 EMA. Like, it keeps tapping it and then going down, tapping it, going down. Here it tries to fake you out that it's going to go up, and it breaks down. So it keeps riding this whole thing down, and then so if I was gonna enter a reversal, like I would enter here when it broke the 5 and the 13. So I would enter here, and then my stop would be below that candle.
Oh, okay. Okay, it makes sense. You made all those colors make sense finally.
I know, right? It's once you understand it, it's easier to read.
Absolutely. Yeah, so basically you combine what most of us know from YouTube and from Twitter in general, but you added some elements only for yourself, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
nothing will beat experience. Like if if there's a lot of new people getting into this, but I tell you to study an asset, get very experienced in an asset. It took me like 6 months to really perfect my gold strategy, I guess. And even I still get burned. Like this isn't like on ranging days, or the last 2 months they've just been consolidating in
Mhm.
this zone, and like they go down, they go right back up, they go up, they go right back down. It's been pretty annoying lately. I think Q1 is always one of the hardest quarters in trading, because it's basically just like a big consolidation or money grab, or it's not as like fluid as other times in the year.
Yeah, absolutely. But I can see that you still managed to get to get a lot of payouts out of even out of these moves that
Yeah,
aren't the best ones, which is great. And thank you so much for sharing the chart with everyone here.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure they were curious about it. Okay, you mentioned that you started 2 years ago and you managed this strategy in like 6 months with gold. And I don't believe that there's a lot of time because I know traders out there that are still struggling after 6, 7 years. How did you start trading and why do you think that you became so good? I mean, at this level that you are right now, what differentiates you from other traders?
I didn't give up. I like kept going. I lost a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie. Like I started trading with crypto in 2022, I think, and then I probably lost around $100,000 just trying to trade crypto. And like I didn't know what I was doing. I got into it like just like because I had crypto. Like I bought Bitcoin at like 4 grand like a long time ago, and so I was like, all right, well, like I can probably make money off of this if I just like trade it, because then I found out about futures and perpetual contracts and things like that. And I tried and failed miserably. But like I was very into it, and I got very intrigued by the whole trading systems and concepts and things. And I found this guy, Traders Reality, who like kind of gives you like a very general understanding of the charts and the market makers, and like the way that the market actually works. And it's it was a great foundation at the very minimum, but he himself was just a good help. And it's all free. He was a free guy. He's like kind of like ICT in that way. But I also think that like the market learns from all of these concepts and things like that. Like the algo will, like ICT different strategy every year type of thing. Like it's the algo learns, and it learns. Like I don't know how valid some of these things are. You have to kind of adapt with the market, like fair value gaps. It's not just a fair value gap. It goes below the fair value gap now because it knows it's looking for your stop, like.
You're saying that the market, the way that the market works, changes over time.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. It adapts. At the end of the day, the market is one of the market makers, and they have to get paid, and like they get paid by our stops and things like that. Even though we're trading simulated, like it's people that are trading on their own accounts and with brokers and stuff, like they're following the same concept. So like their stops are more real in that way, like their liquidity is more at risk. But I mean, yeah, so I started doing that, and then I got into prop firms last year, in January of last year, pretty much.
Mhm.
I like actually because of Traders Reality, he did a challenge. He did a challenge on his account, and I was like, I didn't think I was good enough for this stuff. I thought like because I was like trading very small. After I lost like 100 grand, I started trading small accounts. Like I started doing forex, maybe like $2,000 to $5,000 accounts to see what I could do, and I still wasn't doing that well, but I was like, my problem for me, the problem was the capital. Like I was trying to make a lot of money, but to try to make a lot of money with such a small account, you're over leveraging, over risking.
Yeah, of course.
You're moving your stops, you're doing stupid things, like just to be able to like let the trade run, and then you still get stopped out. So like when I found prop firms, it kind of opened my eyes to what having this type of capital can actually do. And I found that for me, the 200K account works the best, not because of like the amount, but because of the drawdown. The account's only as good as the drawdown. Like
Okay.
Yeah, like the 20K yeah, right, so a 20K drawdown is a lot of help overall, and even to have 4 or 5% drawdown a day is still more than enough, because if you get stopped out for the day, as long as you don't breach the account, okay. Like I was in drawdown yesterday when I took my trade. I was $6,000 in drawdown probably. But I turned around and turned that into like $14,000 profit, So, or
That's,
I came into it was $11,000 profit from the initial balance, so I made $14,000 on the trade.
that's
Yes,
amazing. And okay, you mentioned that you mostly trade on 200K accounts, basically.
I have
So
400K and one 300K also.
on which account size are you more comfortable? Because I know there's a thing with traders, they are comfortable with an account size. If they leverage more, and if let's say they go for a 600K, they're gonna lose it, even though on the 200K they are good traders.
I mean, you can like, oh yeah, I passed the 400K recently, and like the pass the challenge is one thing, but then when you actually have the account, like you can trade it the way you want. Like in a lot of ways, like if you're at 100K and you want to do 200K, you just double your lot size. It's not like rocket science. I'm comfortable with 200K just because I could, on most uh, accounts, I can do like 20 or 30 lots comfortably. And like have like still have a 1% stop loss in place. For each trade. Even if it moves quickly against me, it could get out quick. I don't really exceed that, even though like on 200K accounts. I struggled with the 100Ks. Like I failed more 100Ks than I have any other type of account. it's
Oh,
it,
okay.
it's about like the very limited amount of drawdown for me.
Now I see. It makes sense. And you mentioned something really interesting. You said that on challenge accounts, you tend to trade differently. What's the difference between a challenge account and a live account? How do you treat them?
Everyone trades a challenge. A lot of people that I've seen, especially the new people in this, they trade challenge accounts like a personal account. If you do that, it's gonna take you forever to pass it.
Yeah.
I trade challenge accounts like they'll be gone tomorrow. If I burn one, I don't really care. I'll buy another one, get and keep, go again. Like my
Mhm.
goal is to pass as fast as possible, so I get the funded account because then the countdown starts till payout. That's always been like my goal at least. But you gotta trade challenge accounts just like to get through them. Like, and if you fail,
Yeah.
buy more one, keep going, rinse and repeat. Like I don't do the 4% stop loss per trade on a challenge account. I still stay. I probably do 2%, let's say. So I still have another
Oh,
chance in the day. Like I don't burn them that fast, but I try to get it done in a day. Like I usually pass a challenge in a day.
oh, okay. So you take multiple trades
Yeah,
during one.
yeah,
Ah, okay. So it's faster. And when it comes to a live account, what's the difference?
yeah. No, you treat a live account a lot differently. Like you risk one half a percent or 1% per
Oh, I
trade.
see.
On the first trade of an initial account, like a fresh account, I might risk a little more just because then I still got a lot of room. On a 200K, I still have 20K. Like so I might risk maybe like 2-3% if I think that it's still gonna go my way. Like but then I do my best. I've only breached on a daily drawdown like twice. Like so
Hmm.
I make sure to not breach by daily drawdown. If I ever breach an account, it's because I hit the minimum drawdown. Yeah, no, I trade funded accounts with more respect, I guess.
Yeah, you treat risk management differently from what I've seen, and it makes sense because you don't need to have a target. Of course, you just receive a payout whenever you want. You just request it. You don't have to have that 8% target or 10% targets that pro firms ask for, which is amazing, and it makes a lot of sense. And I'm pretty sure that the viewers understood that they should treat challenges like an investment. Move
Yeah,
fast, get them quick, get through them quick, and don't cry if you lose them because it happens to everyone, I guess.
yeah.
And yeah.
And I'm friends with a lot of the successful traders like you see on X or formerly Twitter. You can like we all there's a group of us that talks, and like we noticed that a lot of the people that struggle with these things are people that like are afraid to lose the challenge. And I get it. It's not like a small amount, especially like a 200K account. It's not not a lot of money. It's $1,000. Okay, it's significant. Even $500 for some people is a lot of money, and I respect that. But if you're getting into trading, you have to be okay with loss. Loss is part of the game. In the same way that you could lose an account, like don't worry, everyone loses an account. I don't know. I only know one trader who is very disciplined and has a very crazy approach, but I only know one guy who has never breached an account. Like out of all of us, we all breach accounts. Every single one, every successful trader has breached an account,
Mm-hmm.
has had a bad day, a bad month. It's just part of the game. You there's that book, the best winners are losers or something like that. Like you have to
Yes.
be yeah, you have to be okay with losses. Like that's part of the business.
I guess there are people out there that just started trading with prop firms and maybe they didn't lose the account, but I'm pretty sure from my experience as well that they didn't get to make a lot of profits either because they don't allow themselves to risk, which is uh, which is bad in this industry because you receive some funds, you don't actually own the funds, they are not your funds, it's free money basically that you trade with. So of course we can allow ourselves to treat this differently than a normal live account with a broker, and I think that this is the smart way to do it. And okay, you mentioned the fact that you got around 300K from most of the pro firms out there. I'm curious, how many accounts do you have? How often do you receive profits? How often do you ask for payouts? It's just for the viewers because most probably they are curious about it. They want to be like you, of course.
So I choose all the add-ons. 90% profit split, 1 week
Oh.
payout. Like I choose all that. I don't care about any of that stuff because in the grand scheme of things, I know I can pass the challenge even if it takes me 5. I'll pass it, and then when I have the funded, I'm solid. So I choose weekly payouts. So I have a payout at like almost at any point in the week. Like
Mhm.
I can request. Yeah, I can request payouts almost any day of the week. I have about 1.5 million in FX funding. I just started futures also, so I got 20 Apex accounts now and 3 my funded future accounts. So yeah, I'm moving into futures also just to expand a bit. Because the problem with being from the US now kind of sucks, like dealing with
Yeah.
all the changes and stuff and like limitations. Not loving that, but I'm hoping that some firms stick around like GFT. Um, and yeah, I mean, so yeah, I've got about 8 accounts, maybe 6 accounts.
Mm-hmm.
6 accounts.
Okay.
At any given time, I'm always working on challenges. That's the other thing. Like just because I'm funded, like I'm always working on another challenge somewhere. Like,
So you're building capital basically.
yeah, the goal is to have as much capital as possible. The more accounts you have, the less you got to make on each account to get like a good amount of money a month. It's easier to make like 1 to 2% on 20 accounts than it is to make like 10% on one account.
Of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can lose it anytime, and you don't want to risk it. So yeah, it's good that you have multiple sources. But besides funded trading, do you actually have other sources of income as well? Because again, this is a sensitive topic for a lot of traders. They don't know if they should go full time or if they should have a job in parallel or another source of income, some investments, something like that.
I do this full time, but I do Airbnb arbitrage. So I have a few properties that I rent and then Airbnb out.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some side income from that. It's not a lot. I mean, on average, maybe like 5 or 10 grand a month max on a good month. Like, yeah, I'm also 34 years old. I'm one of the older people in this business. Like, it's full of young 20-year-olds who are very fortunate to have this type of thing. Yeah, no, I'm older, so I'm more established. I had investments. I had other income at the time. I went full time on this last year, though. Like I really dedicated a year to learning this, and yeah, and I kind of mastered it about 6 months in.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I kind of snowballed. Like I didn't make a dollar for 6 months. I just blew like about 50 grand on challenges, just trying to figure out how to beat this system, basically. Like, and I kind of figured out my own strategy of prop firm trading. It's very different than like trading your own account, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it snowballed. I made my first 20K, then a couple months later I made 40K. I made 100K in November alone. Like it just kind of snowballed.
Okay, so you recovered your investment at first, and you allowed yourself to lose a lot of money for most of the traders out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's something that we should all learn. Like it's not from the start. Nobody can actually make a lot of money from the start. You have to allow yourself to invest more money into this to actually understand how it works, and then the profits will come. Of course, if you're consistent with it, which is really eye-opening because not a lot of traders accept this. They
Yeah,
tend to,
yeah, they give up.
yeah, they say that trading is not for them, but actually I observed this, it's a pattern. All the traders that actually are making money with prop firms allow themselves to pay for a lot of challenges in advance in order to regain the profits at one point and to make profits. So yeah.
Yeah, all it
um,
takes is one good month, one good trade. Like it's not a lot. It's just when you finally get your system down, you can get all your money back. And like people always want like the best discount. I don't care about discounts. I don't even take discounts half the time. I want 90% profits, but I want 1 week payouts. Like I'll pay you more to give me faster results. Like it's and a higher profit. Like because the extra $100 or $150, like I'll make that back. At some point. Like it isn't even if it takes me 5 challenges to get funded on a certain firm. Like but if you give up, like I mean, this may not be for everyone. It's very mentally taxing. It's not. This is a very mentally grueling industry. It's very lonely also. Like if you don't have a good community, like a good support system in this, like it is a struggle. Like when I came into this alone, like I met a lot of people along the way, and like I do have my own little like friends that we trade with. I don't sell signals. I don't do any of that stuff. Like I don't want I don't be responsible for anyone's like downfall or success in that way. Like I only do this for myself. And yeah, I trade I talk to people throughout the day, but like we just share ideas. It's not like we're a lot of the time one of us is wrong. So I
for
like
sure.
counter trade a lot of my friends, honestly.
Oh wow. Do they know that?
Yeah. I'm
Oh.
like, no, you're wrong. I don't care. Like, and then sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes they were right. I'm wrong. It
Yeah,
happens.
absolutely. What about your family? Did they support you when you started trading like 2 years ago?
No. When I started trading 2 years ago, I kept losing a lot of money, and my wife got very frustrated with
Mm-hmm.
it. So she was like, "You need to find something else that brings in revenue. If you want to keep doing this, like, at least we have something else coming in." It's actually the best thing that happened because I took a break for 6 months, and I came back fresh with like a new set of eyes and a little bit more of like calm, because I wasn't. The problem with a lot of traders is that you're constantly stressing about money and income. If you're doing this full time, you're really trying. You need the payout. You need to get paid. And like it happens to me a lot too. Like especially these days with issues at certain firms. Like one firm went down and it set off my whole schedule of life. I had a 20K payout that like took them a month to pay me because of issues they were having, with MT4 and whatever. And then like I had everything like lined up. I was like, perfect. I'm gonna get this and then pay this and whatever. And then like it really like just set off my whole life. And like I'm still recovering from that. But yeah, I mean like it's good to have like if you're gonna do this full time, you better have capital like behind you for at least 6 months.
Yeah, great advice. You should always have money to live. You shouldn't pay with rent money, with lease money for the car or whatever, or with food money, like I hear. Like it's really demanding. I believe it's really stressful as a trader to do all of those. So I feel like you're so relaxed about trading because you actually understood all of this, all the cost of trading. You have some kind of money that are prepared for in order for you to put them into challenges and for everything to go smooth, right?
On most months, yeah. Some months, I mean, I struggle just like everyone else. I have like I'm older, so I have more expenses than the average 20-year-old. Like I have a mortgage, cars, a wife, just had a baby. Like there's a lot. My life has got. The older you get, the more expensive your life becomes. So it's yeah, there's just a lot there. I'm not looking for like a Lambo, or I'm not one of those people, you know, like I could care less about material things like that. I just want to pay my bills, like pay off some debt that I have, and like keep my wife and family happy, and you know, live a good life. Like it's not, you know, I'm a very chill person in that way. I don't want to be Instagram famous or Twitter famous or anything. Like I'm happy to talk to anyone. I'm very, you know, people hit me up for advice all the time, and I'm happy to help anyone.
Oh, okay. What's your Twitter account? Maybe you can
Yeah,
shout out.
I'm SSSMIA on all platforms. Like you can hit me up there. Yeah, on Discord, Twitter, Instagram, whatever.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that they are grateful for that. I'm curious about one thing because you started 2 years ago. Do you backtest a journal or?
So I did I sporadically. I don't do it like as much as I probably should. I started looking into it. At the end of the day, at the end of every day, I take a look back. I do look back, and I'm like, what happened to them? Like win or lose. Like why did I win? Why did I lose today? So I look at the charts. You know, I'm like, I'm because you know, in hindsight, you can see what the market was doing, but in the middle of it all, like you're trying to guess, like you're trying to get an idea, or like you're trying to let your indicators tell you like what is happening. You know, but at the end of the day, you see what the market did. You know, it recovered liquidity. It took out shorts. It took out longs. It like did something. You know, the market always does. It has a plan, and like, did you abide by the plan? You know, or like, did you get wrecked in the chop? Or, but yeah, I mean, I probably should do that more. I think it is very beneficial for everyone to track what they're doing and see why they're winning or losing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. And what about psychology? Do you think it's important
Yeah, it's
in
the most
trading?
important thing in this business. Like psychology is this whole business is based on is literally based on psychology. Like if you don't have a strong mind and you can tolerate losses and having bad months and or bad weeks, or you know, or taking a heavy loss, like you're not gonna make it here. Like
Mhm.
I've had really bad months or really great months, you know, like it, and it's you have to take the good with the bad. You're allowed to have a bad day, like you know, you're allowed to take losses. Thank God for prop firms though, because you know the losses are extremely limited on your end. Like it's not like I'm losing 20 grand, like or that the firm's losing 20 grand. It's all simulated, right? So I mean, like at the most I can lose is like $1,000 from the challenge. You know, it's very limited in comparison to doing it on your own account. So that's what I love about prop firms in general, and that's what I support all prop firms that you know that pay out their traders, that are legit, that are actually in this for the better of the like community and the industry. Like you
Mhm.
know, like GFT, like GFT has proven itself to me at least that it is a serious firm that pays its traders, and you know, I've had a really good experience here so far. I have no complaints. I love the conditions. I love Edward for you know actually like being proactive when everything was going down with MT4. He you know there was barely any downtime compared to a lot of other firms out there, and even the transition was very smooth. And you know the platforms he chose were the best choices out there. And you know you got like GFT's done a great job like navigating all these challenges, and I think that you know if they continue like this, they're going to be one of the top firms in the industry for sure.
Oh, I appreciate it, and I'm glad that you enjoy trading with GFT. Thank you so much for answering to all of those questions. I have one single question out there, if I can call it like that. Maybe to give a piece of advice to our viewers that are watching you and probably admire you, right? Like they want to be like you.
Yeah, like I don't want being like me is very tough. Like it's not easy. It's not. I don't. That's why I don't do signals or anything like that. Like I don't share trades. I it's expensive to be like me. You know, like I have the resources. If you do, then go for it. But my best advice to anyone is always have more than one funded account because you will blow the first funded account you get. It's almost guaranteed. I think like 98% of people do it. Even me. I blew my first funded account without getting paid. And it sucks. You go through all that work, probably did like 5 or 6 challenges to get funded, and you blow your first funded account. So the second you get a funded account, buy another one, buy another challenge, pass another one, have a backup somewhere. like, so if you do fail, you have another, you have another one. Or if you have a bad trading day, let's say you went long at some point, and then it went totally against you. You kept going into it, or you kept making wrong decisions. Maybe by noon you're seeing that things are shifting, and like, but you're already in drawdown on one account. At least you have another account you can go make money on, and then you'll
Mhm.
fix the other account another day. Like, that's what I do. Like, if I have a bad day on one account, I'll just switch accounts, and I'll either reverse, or I'll wait for a better setup, or I'll see if there's a reversal or whatever. So always have more than one funded account. And then if you really want to do this and you really commit yourself, and you really think that you're capable of dealing with all of this mentally and financially and everything, then don't give up. Like, it's a struggle. It took me 6 months to get funded and paid, and then it snowballs. Like, once you get one, it becomes, you have that aha moment, and like, you figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. So like, don't ever give up. Choose good firms like GFT. Good, like, do your research. There's a lot of scam firms out there, so don't choose some random firm without any presence on Twitter, or on Trustpilot, on Profit Match, and all those platforms. Like, do your research on that. There's at least 5 or 10 good firms out there that are respectable. And yeah, I mean, if anyone ever needs advice, as long as you're not asking for money, or or you're not asking me to pass your challenge for you, because I will never do that. Anyone can hit me up on any platform at SSSMIA on all platforms.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this interview. Thank you for attending today this early on a Saturday again. Sorry for the schedule that I had. Uh,
What,
this
what,
was a,
what are you based out of?
I'm in Philippines. It's 9 p.m. right now.
Oh, yeah, 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 for
So
sure.
sorry about that.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
worries.
Thank you. It was great. It was great. Like, I'm pretty sure that everyone will appreciate your time today.
Of course. I'm here to help everyone, no matter what.